morning. Uh, Today's topic, we are just taking an example apart from your triangle problem, whatever the program or problem statements has been listed under the software testing textbook by Jorgensen. Apart from that, any other particular program, how to identify a path testing or how to solve that particular problem with respect to path testing. Path testing normally, whenever we want to apply, it is applied for your unit testing. Just keep this one in your mind. So what are all the steps that I need to follow for performing the path testing? So normally with respect to path testing, the first and the foremost thing is identify the nodes. Nodes are nothing but the statement numbers that you need to just write it with respect to each particular imperative program language, in whichever the imperative program language that you write it. So each statement is nothing but the node. So that is what you need to identify first. Once you have done, the next step is convert that particular program into a flow graph. For converting that, statement numbers are very much important. So that's why we have numbered that particular statements. While numbering also, it is not necessary that always all the particular statements need to be addressed with, or else all the statements need to be numbered. So you can skip here and there. Where all you can skip it. You can skip with respect to the returning statement, or else with respect to the opening or closing of the flower brackets, or else with respect to your declaration part, as well as initialization of the number or the of the member functions or variables. You can skip all those things, or else you can just have it. That's all up to you. So with respect to that, each line indicates one number. That number you need to give it. Okay. So with respect to that, you need to just write a flow chart or flow graph. Flow graph has been written for this particular program. This program is nothing but for a shipping cart. One particular simple example has been given to calculate the amount. Amount will be not calculated with respect to whatever the price tag that it has. It will be taken care with respect to whether you require it urgently or whether you require it for a next day. Next day, that product need to be kept with themselves. So that's why they will charge more. Okay. So keeping all these particular things, and whichever the particular item that you are choosing, what is the price range that you are choosing it, depending on that, your shipment charge will also be changing. So depending on the shipment charge, all together your shipment charge, rush charge followed by your amount will be nothing but your total amount that you need to pay at last. So this is how they have written the program. With respect to that, the flow chart is ready with respect to that. So here one is there, one statement one is nothing but, so they have combined it with respect to initializing the value for your rush charge as 0, followed by if the next day dot equals is equal to yes. If it is next day is yes means, then I need to have a rush charge. Rush charge is nothing but I need to preserve that particular product for one day, so that rest of the fellows will not be getting any particular idea about choosing that particular product. One product I need to keep it separately. So among 10 other means 9 products only I need to sell it. Tomorrow if you say no also, then I need to keep it back. So just to avoid my particular loss, what I'll do is the store person will be having some minimum amount to be charging with respect to it. So just because of it, you will be having the rush charge with respect to that. Okay. So it is being given with respect to the rush charge, followed by tax also you need to calculate. I just left out that. So first statement is your if statement. If the if statement is true, then second statement will be executed. Then it will go with the third statement. Or else if statement false means directly it will go with the third statement execution. So that's what we have just done it with respect to this. This is called as branching. This is done. Next step is, so after reaching 3, once again, the next step is it will be, after reaching 3, the next step is once again it will be checking for your amount. If the amount is greater or equal to 1000, then it will be just, this particular statement will also be equal to this. So what they have done is, whenever you are having the particular numbering with respect to initialization of the value, followed by next statement is your conditional checking statement, those two have been merged. That's what they have done it. So with respect to this, if statement has been merged here. So now amount will be greater than or equal to 1000. So you can rename it. There is no problem at all. You can rename this. You can rename this. You can just regenerate your particular path. Sorry, you can identify one more particular path. There is no problem at all. So once it is done, the next statement is taken into consideration, then it will be calculating the shipment charge. If it is amount is greater than or equal to 1000, if it is greater than or equal to 200, between 200 to 999, the charge will be different, shipment charge. If it is between 100 to 199, then the charges will be different. So all the time shipment charge, they will be fixing a particular certain amount of percentage with respect to the amount plus the rest charge. If it is within that 100 to 199, they will be fixing one particular amount. That amount you need to have it, or uh, you need to pay that much amount of money. There is no doubt at all. So if till it goes from 1 to 25, if it is that 1 to 24, if it is that, till that one you will be just calculating the shipment charge, and then it will be going with the 14th statement execution. See here, 14th statement also it will be taking care with respect to returning, as well as it will be throwing some particular thing. So return followed by this particular total thing, you can just take it as one particular statement itself. So based on that, if else statement is that. So if this condition is true, then it will be going with fourth statement execution. Else if it will not be executed, it will directly return it to the total amount. If the amount is greater than from 200 to 999, then fifth statement will be executed, sixth statement it will be taking care, then it will be just going back to the 14th statement. Similarly, it will be just executing the rest of it, right? Seventh statement, when it need to execute means, then the amount should be, whatever the amount that you have chosen should be 100 to 199. Okay, this is greater than 1000, third statement. Fifth statement is 200 to 999. Seventh statement is 100 to 199. Ninth statement is 50 to 99, whereas 11th statement is uh, 25 to 49, whereas 13th statement is 1 to 24. Just in that particular manner, they have just identified. So if I just annotate this, how many? The next step. First step is flow chart. Flow graph is over. Flow graph is over means the next part. Next part of it is nothing but identifying the number of parts. How many parts that I need to have? I will be having it. That's a very uh, important thing that we need to just know about it. Okay, so the region, closed region, I'll just identify 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, and the last one is outside region, that is 7. So totally 7 parts I need to have. Cyclometric complexity will be 7. If you just identify how many nodes you have, if you identify how many edges that you have, so followed by plus 2 if you just make it, because we don't have a directed edge. If I have a directed edge over here, if I think that this is a directed edge, then your complete your set of calculating the formula becomes somewhat like this. V represents the cyclometric complexity for the given graph, given flow graph, that is equal to E minus N plus 1 according to this particular graph. If we don't have if this particular edge is not there, then we have the complexity of the graph to be calculated as E of g is equal to E minus N plus 1, plus 2. Why 2? Because of the Hawk's theorem. Hawk's theorem, what it says is, you will be always getting involved in going through the program from start to end, as well as from end you can just get back to the start, and once again you can restart that particular program. Start, restart. Based on that, you'll be having 2 ways you can just assume it for entering to the program. Understanding it? So that's why it will be just going through with respect to your plus 2. Understanding it? So if you don't have a directed edge from your last node to first node, then I'm not talking about directly from first edge to last edge. That is a different one. That becomes a path. So I'm talking about from last node to first node. Understanding it? So keep that in your head before analyzing it. Okay. So we'll just we need to check it. Check this particular thing. Okay, so the next one. So we have identified the number of cyclometric complexity is nothing but number of paths. Identification is over. Next thing is I need to write the path. How to write the path? For this writing of the path also, what I'll do is I'll just take this annotation help. I'll just identify. Either I need to go with mentioning this with respect to for identifying the paths, either I need to go with independent path or basis path or Mecca-based basis path. I will always be referring to Mecca-based basis path. So with respect to that, it need to have the maximum node coverage with respect to the path choosing. That's what it says. So with respect to this particular entire flow graph, where the maximum nodes can be reached, I can go with 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 11, 11 to 13, followed by 14. This is my first path. Next one is P2. With respect to this P2, I can go with 1 to 3. P2 is referring with respect to the flipped with respect to your first particular node itself. First node, they have two different ideas. That is, one is you can have the rush charge as 0, you can have the rush charge as some particular amount. Some particular amount, we have just chosen it with respect to the first path. So now you say that next day is not needed, today only you need to deliver. So rush charge becomes 0. So with respect to that, same thing. Then you traverse with 5, maximum node coverage, you just check it out. To 9, 9 to 11, 11 to 13, you can just go with it, followed by 14. This is second one. Next one is P3. P3, once you are just going with it, so identify, flip at that particular terminology. That is 3, you are going it with respect to 5, right? So you can choose 1 to 3 followed by 4 or something like that. Or you can go with maximum node coverage if you want to have it, means 1 to 2, 2 to 4, so 2 to 3, 3 to 4 is my one particular path. Similarly, my particular P4. How many such paths I need to have it? 7 paths I need to have it. Just now we have identified it. So based on that identification, we need to just write it out. So P4 is 1 to 2, 2 to 3 will be that. In 5, I'll be, above it. So 4 to 14, I need to just write it. It should come out, right? So that's why. 5 to 6, 6 to 14 is over. Next one is P5. P5 is that 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8, you can just go with it, followed by 14. Next one is P6. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 14. This is one more. Last path according to our particular assumption. So what we can do is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 11, followed by 11 to 12, 12 to 14. Check out whether all the particular nodes has been reached, with all the particular branches has been reached, with respect to all the statement coverage has been made, followed by branch coverage has been made, followed by node coverage has been made. So 3 things you need to keep in your mind. So these 3 things plays a vital role. So if you are identified with respect to it, if the 7 paths comes, then it's off. Then whatever the path that we have chosen is correct. Understanding it? And keep one thing in your head, always better to choose maximum feasible path. Feasible path is nothing but which we can afford it. If we give the input, expected output will be coming into picture. If you can't traverse to that particular path, even though if you have identified it, then such a particular path is called as infeasible path. Say for example, if I just say that 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Here it will be not coming with respect to infeasible path. With respect to a triangle problem, we'll be just coming to know how that particular infeasible path will be coming into picture. So you need to be aware of it. Okay. Why I'm telling you is you may not get always all the feasible paths with respect to the closed area that we have. With respect to switch case, there will be a problem. So you cannot have with respect to the case number as 5, which will be traversing with respect to case number as 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as 5. So any one you can choose it. The rest of it should be an infeasible one. So that is what I'm just talking about. So infeasible path can exist. It is not that it cannot exist. But to the extent, in our particular cases, whichever the path that we will be choosing, it should be satisfying the expected output one. Understanding it? So with respect to that, we'll be choosing the path. So now the next thing is, in order to address this particular path, I need to choose the input. The last step is prepare the test case design. Test case design should be traversed with respect to this particular thing. Now, if I just choose the input, input is amount, right? So if I have, if I can just oh, okay. Yeah, I got it, right? So now, so with respect to this P1 now, if I want to address this P1 now, so with respect to this, the input that I need to choose is input should be amount as well as next day. Two inputs you will be just inputting it. Amount should be equal to, because 1, 2, 3 you are just going with it. 1, 2, 3 if it is traversing means you will be having the rush amount. Rush amount as well as the amount should be followed by 3, 3 to 5. So amount should be anywhere. You need to choose the values from 1 to 24. Understanding it? And your next day should have yes as the value. Understanding it? In order to fulfill your P1. So P2, if you want to fulfill it, then the input domain input amount will be one and the same. There is no change in the amount. I'm not going to change this particular amount. 1 to 24 itself. And here I'll be changing it. Next day is taking the value as no. That means nothing is there. If no, 0 is the rush value. That's what. So based on that. Next P3. P3 is taking with respect to 1 to 2, 2 to 3, followed by 3 to 4 and 14. So that means the input that you need to choose here is input amount is equal to, what is the amount that you need to choose? It should be greater than or equal to 1000. And next day is yes, that is what you have given it. Next day should be equal to yes. You can take this. I'm not saying it's wrong. Are you getting this? Next one is P3. Sorry, P4. P4 we have taken it 1 to 2, 2 to 3, followed by 3 to 5, right? So 3 to 5 months input amount should be taken into consideration from the range greater than or equal to 200 to 200 to 999, any value. And I have chosen this next day equal to yes. This is my design. I'm not talking about what they have designed it previously. With respect to our particular terminology, whatever they have given, based on that, I'm just writing my own particular way of addressing this. So the next fifth path is 1 to 2, 2 to 3. After 3, it will be going with 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9 is there, 9 to 10 and 14 will be coming into picture, right? Oh, there is some problem in this particular There is some problem in this particular identification. P5, P5, no, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 8. It's correct, it's correct, it's correct. So I need to get that particular annotation. Okay, we'll just try to write it P5 once again. P5, I'll just write it once again. So that's all. So input amount equal to, where it will be going? It will be lying above greater than or equal to 100. So that is 100 to 199. If it is coming, you need to just go with it. Then and next day, whatever you are saying it next day should be equal to S itself. Okay, so that is with respect to your P5. Next one is P6. P6, what it says? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, followed by 9 to 10 and 14. So 10 and 14 means then the input should be chosen. Input amount is equal to greater than or equal to 50 to 99. It can have some value. Okay, and next day should be equal to, yes. Next one is last one, P7. P7 input amount is equal to what it says. It should be greater than or equal to 25 to 49, and next day is equal to, no, sorry, yes, according to our particular example that we have chosen is yes. So this is how I need to choose the input amount. So with respect to the inputs are two. One is amount, another one is next day. If the next day is true, then what happens? If the next day is false, what happens? So based on that amount, both the things I need to have it in my particular calculation. Then only I can calculate the amount. Otherwise, I cannot. So what is the expected output? if the calculation amount is calculated, means total amount, whatever is that, that need to be written. So that value, you just add it over here. Understanding it? So that is how we can just provide the things with respect to the basis path analysis. Simple example, see here, with respect to path 1, next day what is, amount what is, and expected output. That's all. Are you getting this? Sir, why they have taken no? It is that particular wish. So what I will be assuming is, I believe in choosing the path as maximum node coverage should be happening in that. Whichever the maximum node coverage is that, I'll choose it. See here, 2 is not chosen with respect to path 2 to path 7. You can just identify it. See, they are taking it 1 followed by 3, directly they will go. That is their assumption. So you can have 2 whenever you will be having it. Then your next day will be always yes. Understanding it. That's how it will be working. So you just check it out with respect to basis path testing. That's all with respect to today's class. We'll just wind up the class now. So next day, tomorrow, we'll just take up data flow testing. Okay. So thank you very much for your patience listening. We'll just meet tomorrow. Thank you.